A very good morning to all of you. It is a great pleasure to be part of this virtual conference, and it is also an opportunity for me to speak about startups and my journey as a startup entrepreneur, and also my reflections on how or what are the things that a startup entrepreneur has to take care about. Why we become startup entrepreneurs is a very important question that we all need to answer today. And one of the reasons that I figured out is, or one of the core drivers of becoming a startup entrepreneur is the aspiration. What are these aspirations? Aspirations are many. The first and foremost is to be on our own, to be self employed, to be self dependent. Apart from that, the label or the status of founder or the co founder also attracts a lot of people to get into the venture of startups. However, most of them get stuck in asking the questions, what shall I start, or what is the sector that I get into, and how shall I do business in that. But as Simon Sinek has emphasized on the question of why, of course, a lot of people have started realizing that finding an answer for this question is very, very important before answering what and how and other rest of the questions. However, still a lot of people do not know the answer for this question: why am I doing this startup? Why am I doing this venture? Once that is clear, certainly things will be much smoother, things will be much easier because you will be having a clarity of thought. Let me talk a bit about my journey as a startup entrepreneur. Yes, of course, now people see me as a successful entrepreneur in the mental health space, as a psychologist, as a corporate trainer, as a life coach, as a public speaker, and so on. But the journey has not been as easy as it looks now. I didn't start Mano Samvada in the beginning. The first venture that I started was Kannada Forum. I began with this idea that why not we give a forum kind of platform for people who are reading the news. In the sense, it was a kind of an attempt to make people more develop their opinion and express it openly in a forum kind of platform. Whatever the news happens, or say whether it is political news or a social issue or a national issue or international issue, whatever it is, unless we form an opinion and we express it, the democracy cannot be vibrant. With this idea, I started with another partner of mine, the Kannada Forum. Initially, we thought probably it will take some time for people to catch up this idea because forum concept was mostly prevalent in the technological space but not in the space of news. We also wanted to encourage citizen journalism where people will start putting the news and we don't have to depend on the news agencies or the so-called news channels for news. But it didn't work. People couldn't catch up the idea of forum. People were simply reading the news and get out of it. So the whole purpose of the forum was not being fulfilled. Hence, we had to stop that whole idea. Second thing came up. I was very good in language translation, especially from Kannada to English, English to Kannada. So why I thought, why not come up with a translation company? Because I could see a lot of translation errors that were happening in whether it is in advertisements or reports and many other spaces wherever the translation was happening. So I thought, let me be the one who will give quality translation. So without even understanding what is the market, what is the sector, how it is working, and so on, me and two, three friends of mine ventured into this startup called Lipikara. We thought there is a lot of scope. Of course, there is a lot of scope, but The challenges were manifold. They were not as easy as they could be. We thought if we give the real quality, then people will pay a premium price. But in the translation sector, as an industry, it was working with a different ball game, which we had not realized until we had to face all these hurdles where we were not able to get any business. Or all those who were appreciating our efforts, appreciating our quality, were finding other things to be challenging to give business to us. Later on, I worked as an employee in few other startups to understand how they work, and I also faced a lot of challenges being an employee of a startup. And when demonetization happened, the startup that I was working for faced cash flow issues and I had to quit. Till then, I didn't have the courage to venture into the mental health space because I was always worried who will come to me? Will I be able to build the client base? Will I be able to really excel in this field? However, when I had to quit the job, I had to reflect on myself for 2 months without having any job. That is the time when I decided that yes, I have the ability to counsel people, I have the ability to train people, I have the ability to speak in public, and I have the knowledge of psychology through my post graduation degree. So, why not club all of them and come up with the idea of Manosamvada? And initially, I started as a venture with only individual counseling, and then the things started or they it got expanded year after year. Well, now Manosamvada is a very well known brand in the mental health space. A lot of people know about it. A lot of people have started coming to us to seek consultation. These are all happening in the present time. But let me talk about the difficult things, the difficult times which we have gone through. This is it's not just for me but also for many other startup entrepreneurs, because as a consultant who is working with a lot of startups in building their human systems, I understand what are the challenges that they go through. First and foremost challenge is rejection. The moment you say startup, I am coming up with this idea, there will be 100 people who will be criticizing your idea and only one or two people who will be appreciating your idea, or only one or two people who will at least encourage you to try out your luck. So, first thing is rejection. People will start looking at the pitfalls of your ideas than looking at the positives or possibilities of your ideas. The second question comes in authenticity. How do you actually establish that you are authentic? You know what you're doing. This question comes as a startup entrepreneur. Then there will be a lot of questions about your ability. Your own family members, your own parents, your own siblings will ask questions that are you capable of handling this? Are you able to deliver these things that you promise? So there will be a lot of questions about your abilities, and that may actually make you vulnerable and also make you feel inferior many times, that probably I'm not fitting into this space, because initially in a startup journey things don't work as you wish for. Things are very very difficult, things are challenging. You think that people will buy this, but you may not be able to sell even a single product of yours or service in a month's time. And then the question comes, what am I doing? This happened to me also. Initially, there used to be a seasonal shift when there are festivals or there are a lot of things happening around in this society. People won't come to you, and there is one full month going just like that, no client at all. And I was perplexed. What's happening with me? I am totally depending on this income and I don't have any income for a whole month. How will I survive? These are the questions that come to the minds of the entrepreneurs. Then, of course, as all of us know, funds, getting funds, whether it is from venture capitalists or bootstrapping or whatever, there will be issues for the funds and also human resource. You will not be able to pay a good salary, so you will have to compromise in a lot of things. And at the same time, the ones who will be able to contribute for a lesser amount will also equally inefficient many times. So these are the challenges that a startup faces. And further, going further, the next challenge is lack of knowledge. Sometimes we may think that we have adequate knowledge, but once you plunge into the whole stream, you realize that yes, my knowledge is not sufficient. There are many other things to look into that. That is what happened with Lipikara. And when people know that you are a startup, there are many people who are predators who will try to utilize your resources and skills without paying a penny, and you do not even know how shall I charge this person or this organization. And when you get into this mode of charging for your service, they will ask your credibility, how long you are there in this industry, what is your experience, what is your credentials. So these questions will come and you will end up being mum. So after seeing all these challenges as a startup entrepreneur, I found out that these are the things or traits that we all need to have so that we can become a successful entrepreneur. The first and foremost thing is belief. Do you have self belief? Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in your abilities? Do you believe in your skills? Do you believe that you will be able to cross these hurdles? The belief is one of the foremost foundations for building your entrepreneurial journey. And ensure that you, in whatever you are delivering, you have quality. And whenever you are delivering, whether it is a product or a service, deliver it with a lot of confidence. You should have confidence in you. And that will make you be ready to face any challenges. Sometimes I was talking to an owner who has entrepreneur or who has started an entrepreneurial journey in the space of fitness. Who he has started a gym. Now he was saying that yes, there are incidences where I only have to sweep the floor, I only have to clean all my equipments. At the same time, I only have to act as a trainer. At the same time, I only have to be a manager. I only have to become an accountant. So there are multiple roles the same person is playing, and it is not easy. So you have to be ready to face these kind of multiple roles in the beginning. Once the system is set, things may run for you, but till then you will have to be ready to face these issues. But be optimistic. If you are convinced about your idea, if you are convinced about why you are doing it, then be optimistic that things will turn positive one or other day. Along with that, be honest and stay with utmost integrity. That will give credibility to you, and people will start appreciating slowly and steadily. And in order to this to happen, you have to be consistent in whatever you're doing. If you're doing something for a few days and then stopping it and trying out something else and then trying again or coming back to this again, that will not work. You have to be very, very consistent in whatever you're doing. And hard work is very, very essential. And through all of these, you have to build a trust in yourself, and others will have to trust you. Once you build this trust, things will start moving smoothly. Now I would like to give few cautions also to the startup entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs. One of the commonly seen issues that I can mention here is competition. People think that this space has a lot of competition. Will I be able to survive? Will I be able to sustain? Well, I ask only one question. Aren't there lakhs of students becoming engineers, thousands of students becoming doctors, thousands of or lakhs of students becoming some other graduates? Or does it mean that there is no competition in those spaces? Of course, competition is there everywhere. And I believe that unless there is a competition, we cannot excel. So we should always appreciate the competition around us in our space. So don't be bothered or don't be scared about the competition. And be mindful in using your resources. Sometimes what we do is we end up utilizing all our resources in the beginning to establish ourselves, and then we see that we are not able to sustain any longer. This is a very major problem because of which a lot of startups are failing. If you look at the numbers, 1 in 100 startups sustain for a longer time. That is because of lack of utilization of resources mindfully. And also be open for collaborations. Because in the present time, especially after the COVID, unless we collaborate, we cannot evolve, we cannot sustain, we cannot spread ourselves. And most importantly, have a clarity of thought. And looking at the whole space of startup ecosystem, there are a lot of opportunities for us. It's not just about the rhetoric that don't be an employee but be an employer, but there are a lot of opportunities for the youngsters to get into the startup space. First thing is, be ready to grow together. Don't think that it is only me who has to grow in the ecosystem, rest all have to die there. That doesn't work. Unless you allow others to grow, you cannot grow. So be mindful that you grow together. And look for complementarity. If I am doing counseling, is there anyone who is doing some complementary work? If somebody is selling a product, look for complementary startups or startups which are complementary to your space so that you can actually collaborate in a more meaningful way. And don't complain about the issues or don't be worried about the things or challenges that come to you. And one of the important aspects that I got to know, especially after having a conversation with the company secretariat, that a lot of startups are not compliant with the company rules or the company act, because of which they find it difficult to get the fundings or spread further, or they will have to pay a lot of price for the mistakes of theirs in the early stage. So be compliant to the rules. If you are mindful of all these things and getting into a venture, there is no way who can stop you from becoming a successful entrepreneur. Let us have a very vibrant startup ecosystem in our country, and let us all be happy being entrepreneurs. Thank you so much. Best wishes to all of you. See you.
Hello everybody, my name is Teju and I'm founder of Smiles. We build skills to enhance well-being of students and adults. I've been a TEDx speaker. I've been awarded 51 most fabulous happiness leaders in the world. I have written a book in conjunction with Government of Karnataka to enhance employability rate in our state. My mission is to enhance happiness of 5 crore Indians. So if you see, even before COVID, The situation of well-being is so bad. To name a few, 81% of our students perform poorly in exams because of stress. There's a lot of academic pressure, there's comparisons, time pressure, and added to it, there's a lot of COVID. And students are exposed to the fights in the families, or the pressures parents go through because of losing jobs, or having a financial crunch. All this affects their emotional health. And when you look at, stress is one aspect which is pulling down their well-being. The other habits could be poor social relationships, or poor eating habits, or poor physical health habits, like they don't exercise, they don't drink adequate water, they don't get an adequate rest because they're staying at home, and then there's a lot of playing video games at a moderate, higher than moderation level. And then when people have already some mental health problems like depression, anxiety, the situation is aggravating it. So there's always a lot of need to take care of our well-being at an ongoing basis. Just like how you go to a gym to work out your muscles, you don't have to be, um, having a problem to go to a gym, right? You just can say that, okay, I wanted to have a six pack, so I'm doing this. Similarly, in this current situation where we are staying at home for longer times and you're not interacting mostly with your friends, and there's a lot of studying happening online, but then there's a lot of need for us to relax. There's a lot of need for you to take actions towards enhancing or building habits that can improve your performance, or use this time productively to work on skills like study habits, or the time management issues, or procrastination, or growth mindset, getting scared of a subject and not trying to work on it. There's a lot of skills we could also develop during this time when you know how to develop it. So COVID season can always be a boon if you look at it as time to improve on my current state, and let it be your employability rate. Like there's 24% of the youth which are not employable, so you can use this time to build technical skills. You can use this time to enhance your employability skills in terms of communication, in terms of time management, problem solving, or initiation. So you could do some multiple techniques, or participate in multiple activities that can enhance each of these skills. Uh, Similarly, there are many people who are going through COVID. So for them, bouncing back from adversity or as trouble is very important. So you need to learn skills, how I can bounce back, how I can bring back my resiliency to back normal and start performing optimally. So it all starts with our intention on how we could use this time to learn skills that will enable me to move forward in my life. So how can we do it? That's the question, right? So the first thing we could do is to measure how am I standing on my well-being. Is it how, where I stand on my physical well-being, where I stand on my relationship well-being, how I stand on my stress and coping, how am I handling my emotional health, are my habits serving them, or are posing threat to my well-being, or what are my current employability skills, where do I stand. If you are a person who is like doing degree, or any professional course, or what more skills can I learn in terms of technical. So for all this, there are some surveys which are very very important for you to take, that will give you a tangible outcome on where are you standing. Then after you, once you know that this is where I stand, then you could go back and say, okay, I would want to learn these things, and for doing this I'm gonna uh, engage myself into these practices. So for this case, what we have done is we have created an app called Student Success, where you can measure each of your things. You can measure your emotional health, physical health, relationships, your stress, your employability skills, your career guidance or career planning assessments. So later you can also look into, every day the app throws different techniques that can help you enhance your employability rate, or it can help you enhance your um, emotional health, in terms of building habits, in terms of building performance related habits which the top performance today perform across. uh, so how do you download this app? It's available on Google Play. It is called Student Success. You can download it, you can take the assessments, um, and then you can understand more things about you. And to top it, you can also engage in these activities every day. The app throws one meditation, one writing activity, one thinking activity. So it's all, we have made it very beneficial for the youth to engage in activities such that they enhance their well-being, they enhance their confidence, they enhance their they'll be able to perform to the best of their potential. They can quickly bounce back from failures. They know how to handle stress in a more healthy manner. They whatever they learn, how you can learn quickly things, how you can memorize information more, uh, how you can improve your time management skills, or how you can improve on your mindset, being positive, being happy. So all these are advantages of using this app. So I hope you will download this app and get benefit from it. It's called Student Success, available.
Thank you so much, Planetic Media, for inviting me to this wonderful webinar. And I'm so glad to be connected with such a wonderful organization. So, friends, I'm Jitesh Khanna and I'm an entrepreneur. I've been into real estate, renewable energy, and investments for last 20 years. And today I thought I'll share my journey with you all and also tips for budding entrepreneurs. First of all, I would like to really thank all these wonderful media platforms that are out there selflessly working to encourage the youth. And one of the most wonderful things that is happening now is, amid Corona, instead of people going far away from each other, people have been really gracefully embracing each other through online means, through meetings, webinars, video chat, conferencings, and stuff. And that has given a great push to learning and and sharing of information. So thank you so much. So I have been working for last 20 years now. So my journey is a very it's been like a roller coaster ride. So just like most of the youth, I always wanted to you have this thing that you want to go abroad, study, go to probably an Ivy League college, get a great education, work there, and probably start something. So just like that, I started my life as a student who was very creative, not very attentive. So there's a misconception that we have in society is that a kid or a child who is not very attentive in class is dumb, which is not a fact. Sometimes children have different interests, and you have to learn that and handle that. So as a child, I was very inquisitive, very innovative. I would do things. I would use waste stuff to make things. I would paint. I would draw. I would create stuff. So I had a great creative side and a creative urge. So when I was in college, After clearing my college, I wanted to go abroad, and I wanted to pursue further education. But due to my father's health issues, I stayed back for a while. So he requested me, or he ordered me, I would rather say ordered me, you know, and which is not bad. If your parents, you owe a lot to your parents, a debt that you owe to your parents, you can't repay it ever. So he requested me, he ordered me to stay back and help him in the business for 1 or 2 years. And I joined real estate business. I also started at the same time learning the tricks of the trade from my architect. Things like interior designing, things like I was always good at sketching. So I started learning how to create floor plans, how to create elevations, how to create furniture designs. Since I was good in sketching, I picked these things up very fast. So it became like a great combination. I was very fond of working. You have to be very fond of working. You have to enjoy work. Work is not something which is like a punishment. Work is the heart of your being. Give all to your work, and that's what the whole idea of being a karma yogi is all about. So I started learning under my architect. I learned all the things from him. In fact, I learned to an extent that I would started contributing to his work. At the same time, I got involved into planning, designing, procurement of material, and I learned bargaining from there. You could go to a supplier and you could strike a deal with them, and then it felt like creating like a huge canvas. So making a building is just like creating a canvas. You have a plot of land, and you visualize something on it, and then you start working on the planning with your architect, your engineers. And I think one thing that I always tell people who are into construction and real estate is that do extensive planning to the minutest detail, and eventually you will see that when the execution happens, things are going to be very smooth. So that's what I did very wisely. I would plan with my architect. We would plan the best interior plans, floor plans, so that the maximum space utilization could happen. All the bylaws are checked, structures are rigid, good. Aesthetically, it's nice. Ergonomically, it's well designed. There's a great cross ventilation, lighting, and the only thing that I had that time was a lot of insecurity. So a lot of people feel that insecurity is a bad thing. Insecurity is not a bad thing. Insecurity is your friend. Insecurity teaches you a lot. When you're insecure, you are ready to go an extra mile. I used to work hours and hours every day. Sometimes I would start 7 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. But I would work hours and hours just to ensure that the quality is amazing. So once you focus on quality, I think success becomes sort of a short goal, thing, like a byproduct. So I started working on those wonderful designs and projects, and I would put my input, and I would, very, fondly sit down with my architect and plan new things and how to design stuff. And the end product used to be really wonderful, and that brought a lot of joy and a success, and as well as success in my life. So one of the tips that I want to give people is, and it's an age-old saying, is that there is no substitute to hard work. And if you mix hard work with enthusiasm and insecurity, again I would say insecurity stems out of this fear that something, you'll not make it, and sometimes insecurity makes you weak also. So the saying is that excess of everything is bad. So too much of insecurity is bad, but a certain amount of insecurity brings a lot of professionalism in you, brings a lot of commitment in you, brings a lot of competitive edge in you. So please don't see your negative flaws as flaws, but they are a fuel to your success. And then I got into land, and then I got into investments. Eventually, I started growing. I got into renewable energy, which is the future. I'm basically a futurist by heart. I believe any technology which is out there which can help us sustain, live better, have a better future, which is great for the human race, is definitely going to do well. And the future is all about now is about AI. It's about learning. It's about healthcare. Majorly, it's about education. It's about mental well-being. So more than physical health, in future, a lot of stress will be on mental health too. Because of technology, a lot of challenges would also come. So the first thing that I want all the entrepreneurs to remember, young entrepreneurs to remember, from my own humble experience, and it's my own point of view, personal, story, and I'm sharing it with you. And again, I always am very grateful to people who are listening to me. So from my own heart, I'm sharing the first thing that an entrepreneur needs to really, really have is a certain sense of insecurity. A lot of people feel insecurity is bad. It is absolutely wrong. Fear, insecurity have, they are related to our evolution actually, and for our safety for our growth, it is very important. So to have a certain amount of insecurity is good, but if it is more and more and more, then it's not so good. It's going to create a lot of problem in your life. So you need to check, that if you're insecure about something, work on it, win over it, and that's it, and be done with it. The second point is there is no substitute to hard work, which I shared earlier. Hard work, nowadays the latest trend is smart work. It's not about hard work, it's about smart work. I would say it is first hard work, learning the tricks of the trade, and then smart work. You can't instantly start with smart work unless you have a great amount of data with you, you've done a lot of research, right kind of research, you have the right people around you. But the first thing is hard work followed by smart work. The third thing that I want the entrepreneurs to remember is to have a healthy personal life. It is very important to have good friends. And with good friends, I mean good influences. People who are pushing you, people who are telling you that you can do it, people who are happy in your success, people who share the same kind of calling, passions like you, people you can talk to and learn a lot from, and they can be of any age, people older than you, people younger than you. Be open to learn from everyone. Like an ocean, it accepts the water from all the streams. It doesn't differentiate that it's coming from a river or a smaller stream. You should be open to learn from everyone. And there's an age-old saying which I've repeated so many times, is that we become the 5 people we hang out with. So you be very, very mindful about the company you keep. Please be away from toxic people, people who don't believe in themselves, and people who are always jealous of you and trying to pull you down, because such people, they will never help you succeed in life. Rather, they would make you more, they will take away your hope. That's what I want to say. And the third point, which is extremely essential is believing in oneself. In Texas, once Swami Vivekananda, he said that the older religion says believe in God. The new religion says believe in yourself. So you can have the best Ivy League degree, you can have amazing amount of funding, you can have a great team, but if you don't believe in yourself, it's not going to work out much. The success is going to be very short and temporary. So you have to somewhere believe that each one of us is amazing, is unique, there's no one like us, and there's a great amount of potential lying within us. So believe in yourself. Self-belief is extremely important. You can start by faking it. You can fake it till you make it. That's one way. Another way is, which is a better way, is to start small, do small projects, really small ones. Have success in them, keep doing the small victories, having these small victories, and eventually move on to bigger victories. So what happens is, on the way, you build a lot of self-belief and self-confidence. Fourth point, which is another very essential, is to really have a very forward-looking approach in life. I meet a lot of people in my life, and I was like that too, who look back in the past a lot. We all, without exceptions, have made a lot of mistakes in life. We have made we have done a lot of wrong to ourselves and others, and there's this whole jargon, this whole hoopla about, you have done this and you have to repent. I think the greatest repentance is not to repeat your mistakes. The most important thing in life is to not look back and always have a forward-looking approach. Always look forward to a better future. We have this assumption that something might go wrong, this anxiety always. Why not have this a different kind of a feeling inside that something might go right? Some great stuff is waiting for me. The best is yet to come. Keep telling yourself all these things. The next point, another extremely essential point, is that there is this whole noise about self love. Entrepreneurs are also told, oh, you should love yourself, please love yourself. If you don't love yourself, others will not love you too. And that becomes very artificial sometimes. Sometimes you're just doing it artificially. I would say take a step back and instead of self love, focus on self compassion. You are all you have. Every pain that you've gone through, you know it. The only person that you share your pain with genuinely, who can understand it, is you. You are your biggest ally. You are your biggest support. So instead of self love, focus on self compassion. Have a lot of compassion for yourself. You have been through a lot. You have fought a lot in life, and it is always important to really, really take care of oneself. And how do you do that? Now, a lot of people ask me how to start self compassion. And I think the very door to self compassion is no negative self talk. So if you tell yourself, oh, I'm terrible, I am not good enough, I am not as good as him or her, I can't do it, he can do it, but I can't do it, I don't have it in me, I'm not a good person, I've done so much wrong, then that is all negative self talk. And stop telling that to yourself. Every human being, without exception, has done something wrong. It is like the story in the Bible that, anybody who has not sinned cast the first stone. Everybody has sinned. Everybody has done something wrong in their life. That is how life is. Life is a series of mistakes and series of events where things go sometimes right also. And then eventually you collect all the data in your head and you process it and you learn. And that learning is life. So the door to self-compassion is to not get into negative self-talk. A lot of people now, a lot of entrepreneurs, when they want to start a project, their focus is primarily money. So my next point is that instead of focusing on money, focus on creating something wonderful. You might not be initially able to monetize it, but eventually in time it will be monetized. So focus on your passions, focus on something that is wonderful, that awes you. If you create something that you feel is like, wow, I'm sure people will feel the same. Maybe not to that degree, but to a certain extent. And that's a great start. Another point for entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, is please start small. There is no quick fix route or a quick route to easy money or lots of money. Unless you come out with a disruptive software on an idea and instantly it becomes a hit and it's bought, or the valuation goes up, which is rare. So for all entrepreneurs, my biggest request is to start small. Start a small venture, learn from it, let it grow, and eventually when you get a lot of confidence, you get a lot of insight into business, you understand what are your pros and your cons and how you can go about it, please go ahead with something bigger. So start small and then scale it up. So scaling is important, but at the same time, the most important thing is to start. The biggest problem with most of the people in the world is they don't want to start anything because of the fear of failure and the fear of losing face, the fear of being ridiculed, the fear of being called a failure. Whereas in certain places, I have seen anybody who's done 4 or 5 ventures and failed, people say like, wow, he's a bold guy. He's a guy who's ready to take risks. And somewhere you have to come out of your shell and stop running away from these things. You have to become a bit adventurous, but at the same time take calculated risks. So being adventurous doesn't mean all of a sudden you put in all your money into something and then you lose it. That's foolishness, that's gullibility. Coming to my next point, actually, which is related to this, is that please don't be gullible in business. A lot of times I know a lot of people who start projects because their friends told them, oh, this is an amazing venture, let's get into it. And without knowing a thing about it, they jump into it and they lose money, and then they do the same thing to another project, and they do another project, and ultimately they have a series of failure, and they have their self-esteem is shattered, their money is exhausted. So don't be gullible in life at all. If somebody tells you this is a great project, first see that does it align with your passion. Secondly, if you're willing to do it, do you know anything about it? Third, have you studied the market? Is there a market for it? And if there is a market, is it big enough? Because there are a lot of things and everything has a market, but some things sell less and some things sell a lot. And at the same time, is it something innovative? Sometimes you come out with a product which has never been there in the market. You create the market for that product. That's another great way of doing it. But I think that comes eventually with experience and with time. Experience is an extremely important thing. So that is why, in the initial points I said, please meet people and talk to people who are into such things. So that comes now comes my last point, which is please get into the community of people who are innovative, people who are have ideas. It is equivalent to the point that I had shared, that have a great friend circle that encourages you, but this is more on the professional side. So be part of social groups, Facebook groups, online forums, clubs, physical. If our post pandemic you can meet people physically, which amen, I hope we can as soon as possible. Meet people who are innovators, people who think out of the box, people who have crazy ideas. Sit with them, talk to them. Sometimes just keep your mouth shut and just keep your ears open and listen to all the wonderful ideas. Go back and absorb them. There's so many times I have met people and I've mixed ideas and I've come out with the most creative ones. The more you are with such people, the more you will see the creative spark inside you growing, the more you will see your life growing. Yeah. So these were the points for entrepreneurs. But this whole misconception that we have is that a businessman's life, an entrepreneur life, is different from a regular life. It is not. What happens in our personal life affects our business. What happens in our personal life affects our personal life, our personal relationships, our professional relationships. So if we are in a low mood, if we are not feeling great in our personal lives, then we will not be able to give our best to our professional lives. So please have a wonderful personal life, eat well, sleep on time, do a lot of exercise. Exercise is extremely important. If you can't do anything else, just walk, do a bit of weights, and read less of negative news and a lot of great wonderful articles. These are small tips that I followed in my life and I humbly shared it with all of you. Thank you so much, and I really hope that out of all the things that I've shared with you, these even if one thing is able to change your life, I think my purpose is solved. My purpose is clear, and my purpose is done. So thank you so much, and thank you Planetech Media for this wonderful opportunity. And I'm really looking forward to such more sessions with you and to learn a lot from all the wonderful youth and the youngsters and all those wonderful entrepreneurs that have been attached to you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
A very good morning to all my co-panelists. I am Prerna Babuta, co-founder for Offer to Hire and also a freelance academic writer. So today I'm going to talk about how Offer to Hire was born and how it gradually evolved. But before that, I'd really like to thank Planetech Media for giving me this opportunity, for giving Offer to Hire this opportunity to share its journey so far. So Offer to Hire was It's actually a brainchild of my husband, Mr. Manish Babuta. He's the founder of Offer to Hire. So just a brief about myself. So I started my journey with the outsourcing industry. Gradually, from a telecaller level, moved to a trainer level. Then I moved into full-time school teaching, and now I do freelance writing, also freelance academic writer with various publishers. And talking about my husband Munish, he also is from the outsourcing industry, and then he founded his own firm, which was a small outsourcing firm that he founded. Now he always had this dream of opening up a placement firm since the day he got into business. That's like about approximately about 10 years back. When he got into entrepreneurship, he always wanted to get into the business of job placements, but some due to some reason or the other, it was not getting manifested as such. So I remember, so when we got married, I was into full-time school teaching, and I remember once I was juggling with about 4 to 5 things, and he asked me, do you want to start a business? And I was like, what business? Me? I mean, sometimes who's always been into a job, has zero knowledge about how business works, you tell that person, so we're going to start a business, that person might get a little perplexed, and that's exactly what happened with me. So he told me that he has this idea in mind about Offer to Hire. So this name was coined by him and a few of his friends. So he and his friends did try to start with it, but then of course, because even they were into jobs and everything, so it was a little difficult for them. So he asked me that this is the idea that I have in mind about Offer to Hire. This is the concept on which I intend to start a placement firm. Would you join me? So I initially had a lot of doubts, hiccups rather, about it, but he really guided me, he really supported me, or rather motivated me, that Prerna, see, one thing that he tells me a number of times, he said a way, the manner in which a women can handle a particular task, rather the manner in which women can handle number of tasks is commendable. And business is something which a woman can always handle. It's just all in the mind, that how I'm going to get things done. So we started with Offer to Hire about 2.5 years back, and when we started, the first challenge was, which I think every recruitment firm has, which every placement firm would have, was to procure clients. So that was the first challenge that we faced. And I think we were blessed enough that very soon, like within about like we started when we started, I think within about 15 days we were able to procure our client. Our first client is DTA Incorporated. It's an IT firm which is based in Noida, and we are still providing placements to them. So far I would say the journey with DTA has been commendable. So when we started and we were able to procure the client within 15 days, people might say, how come 15 days sounds challenging to you? It was because every day you're sitting, you're doing cold calling, and then because when we started we never hired anyone, so I was the one who was into business development. So I started procuring clients from the market first. I said that rather than hiring someone and making that person to sit and begin with the process of cold calling, let me start it first. So I remember when we started initial about 3-4 months, I was not just picking up business from the market. Me and Munish, we were not just picking up business from the market. We were also involved into calling up the candidates and aligning them for the interview. So from business development to coordination with the candidate, then with the company, we were doing all of it. And why we did this? We could have easily hired someone and got that person into calling up candidates at least. So uh, Munish just wanted me to understand first, to experience it myself, and even he himself, he wanted to experience that what are the challenges that our recruiters are likely to face. Once we start building up a team, how or what are the kind of challenges they might face. So it's better that you taste those challenges yourself first, and so that you know the solution beforehand, rather than you build up a team of good 20-30 people, and then they have challenges, and then you are just dumbstruck because you really don't know what's happening on the ground. So initially, me and Munish, we would call up the candidates, we would do a lot of cold calling, and gradually when we saw that things were going, we were able to pick up good clients from the market. Why I say good clients? Because they have been really nice to us, and we the clients that we picked up about 2.5 years back, we are still we were still able to renew contracts with them, because they were highly impressed with the services that we have been providing. In fact, one thing that I'd like to add here, so a candidate that we provided about 2 years back, in fact more than 2 years back, 2.5 years back, those candidates are still working in that organization. So the one feedback that we keep on getting from our client is that, Prerna, you as a vendor for placement services, we have, with offer to hire, the best thing is that we've never requested for a replacement. So I think that is the biggest feather in our cap. If I talk about the biggest achievement for offer to hire, is that we never had to give a replacement, because our candidates are either they stayed for a year or more than a year, or are still working with the particular organization. In fact, through those candidates we got referrals also for various other profiles for different clients. We got referrals from those candidates itself. Another thing was, so when we understood the reality of how the placement industry works, what are the things that what is the ground reality, what are the challenges, what is it that needs to be communicated to the client on daily basis. So once we got a hang of all of it, that is when we started hiring recruiters. So now we have about 8 full-time recruiters, and then we have freelance recruiters who are mostly on pan-India basis. Over a period of time, one thing that has been great with offer to hire is, if I talk about internally, is that our team has it's still there. No one from offer to hire has also resigned, no one has moved on. They did not say that, ma'am, we are getting a hike or something. So they still want to be with us, even in this pandemic situation. When my team tells me, ma'am, when are we start going to coming to the office, we really enjoyed coming to the office rather than working from home. So that what we feel, as a mentor, we generally don't use the word boss in our office. So as a mentor, I think our task is accomplished. Another thing which we do with our team, which we tell the members of offer to hire, another thing that we tell them, we always tell our team is the importance of data. So I always guide my team members that this particular data that you are dealing with, it is very critical, it is confidential, of course, but how you present your data to the client is also very important. So our purpose, this is what Munish always had in mind, that offer to hire will not just be like any other placement firm. Okay, this is the monthly target, get it done, and get your salary, go back home, tata, bye bye, that's it. So this was never his vision. He said that, Prerna, we want to build up a team that is going to stay with us for a very long time. We don't say forever because that's practically impossible, and we don't even have that expectation. We that's I would say that is a little awkward to imagine, or to say that, oh, someone is going to stick to my organization, stick to our organization forever. That never really happens. So he always wanted to build up a team that's going to be there with us forever, I mean for a very long time. And most importantly, he said that it's very important to work on the grooming part of our team. So I realized that though the recruiters that we have, none of them is none of them is fresher, all of them are experienced. But one thing that I could always see was that their data was always a little mismanaged in terms of, so if let's say they've sent me an Excel about candidates who are scheduled for tomorrow's interview. So one thing that you would see is that the font that they have given in the Excel sheet, there's a variation. So first name, so if I talk about the category, so serial number, name, mobile number, email ID, what is the current CTC, expected CTC, so whatever, the different domains that go into the tracker. So I could see that either there was a variation in the type of font used within that same sheet, or another thing that I would see is a simple thing, like let's say candidate is there are 5 candidates and they are scheduled for, let's say, 2 p.m, 3 p.m, 3:30, 4:30, so on and so forth. Example, just a random example. So availability of the candidate, they would write 2, 3, 5, 4, then 1. So I would ask them that, what is this 2, 3, 4? At least write PM. And then when you are writing the availability of the candidates, it's important that you write availability in the proper sequence. So someone who's available at 1 p.m, that candidate needs to be placed at the top. So my team keeps on, our team, it keeps on telling us, whether it's me or Munish, they always come back to us and they say that the kind of grooming that we have received from offer to hire, it is very difficult to find it in general in the market, because our team is of experienced recruiters who've been working for 3 years, 4 years. One of them have been, the maximum experience that we have is 6 years. So someone, imagine, who's working for 6 years was never really guided that, how do you maintain a proper data, or how do you present your data, and how it is your data only which is going to help you in the promotion in the long run. That's the reality of the corporate world, that your data is going to speak for you, no matter how much you've done, if you've not maintained your data well enough. So this is something that one of my colleagues taught me when I was a trainer. So I used to work. So one day she came to me, she said, Prerna, you are like, everyone says that in the entire training team, Prerna is one of the most hard-working trainers, but why is that you always goof up on your data? That day I learned how important data is. Now coming back to offer to hire, so as I've already told that we started about 2.5 years ago, and we have been able to procure about good 8 to 10 clients from the market. So we have clients from IT industry, we have clients from banking industry, education industry, MLM industry, and then we also have clients from manufacturing industry. So I would say we have covered a lot of domains in terms of hiring. And yes, like any other placement firm, at times we do face the challenge that at the last moment the candidate would quit because he or she has a better offer. So offer to hire started with the aim of course prospering, like any business would start. But yes, midway the other goals that we had set for our team, I think most of them we have been able to achieve. And as of now, if I talk about the present situation for offer to hire, yes, we are still looking for more clients in the market. I mean, who doesn't want more business? Everyone wants. But yes, we are looking for genuine clients. We are not looking for some fake people, because the market is like that. I mean, you can come across anyone who's a fake client as well, which is thankfully, I mean, we did encounter one fake client, but I think, when you are when you're working really hard, uh, the almighty or the entire universe will always bless you. I think very easily and very quickly we were able to pick up that this is a fake client. This client would hire from us, but would not give us the payout. So I mean, I'm grateful to the universe for that. But as of now, if I talk about the present situation, yes, our team is still working from home, because in our team, I mean, most of the members have small kids at home, so we've told them to work from home. I think that's a better option. And yes, offer to hire is growing, and we intend to do that for a very long time, or maybe, and here I can say that yes, forever. Most importantly, from offer to hire, we only expect to have good clients, good candidates, because we only intend to work on long term basis, have a very healthy relationship with, whether it is our client, whether it's our candidate, whether it's our team. So that's about offer to hire. We started only about 2.5 years back, and we've been able to get good number of clients, and we are looking for more clients, no doubt about it. So we'd really love to. We'd be really glad to be empaneled with other brands in the market, and really prosper. We'd like our clients to prosper, because that's how we also grow. And yes, me and Munish, I would say that we are happy that uh, we've been able to perform good enough till now in the market, and we just hope that offer to hire continues to grow forever. Thank you so much. That's about offer to hire till now, at least. And once again, I'd like to thank Planetech Media for this wonderful opportunity. And I also hope, I pray that Planetech Media also prospers. Thank you so much.
Hey everyone, I'm so happy to be at Planetech today and share with you some amazing tips, hacks, and how exactly can startups leverage on one of the biggest social professional networking website, LinkedIn. Yes, you might be amazed by saying that why LinkedIn, but the fact is that LinkedIn has most of the Fortune 500 companies. The leaders are there, the people you want to reach, and you just want to think about even the political people or people for the giant organizations. If you are based in India, then you might be knowing founders of large organizations like Flipkart or even to say Amazon, and even bigger than that. And LinkedIn is a place which gives you possibility to be able to connect with guys, with the startup giants, the decathons and the unicorns. As you are in the startup space, you would know that the best. And today I'm here to share with you some amazing tips, tricks, hacks, and what exactly as a startup could work wonders for you, specifically as you are just starting up or probably have been in the space of the series A, or let's say even in the angel funding, and all of these things. Let me get direct dive into it and share with you some amazing strategies. These are going to be simple ones, but impactful. For LinkedIn, I've personally, with my team, come up with a framework which we call it ABCD. You might be wondering, am I taking you back to the school? No, guys, I'm not taking you back to the school. Enough been there already. But basics have to be right. And as a startup, you know your BMCs have to be right at the same way on the LinkedIn platform. Your ABCD has to be right, has to be bang on. So let's dive right into it and see how exactly can you rock on LinkedIn your journey. So I'm going to put myself a little on the side and let me present the slide so that we can do this simultaneously. Now, killing it on LinkedIn is a framework which we have with the ABCD, and it's a land of opportunities. But when I'm saying opportunities, what kind of opportunities am I talking about? Let's first clarify that. Opportunities where LinkedIn can give you speaking gigs, panel discussions, podcasts, clients and leads, consultation projects, business partners, or companies to work with, join them, be amazing with them. And I'm not saying this just as a list. I'm saying this, all of this has happened with us as an organization. So just giving you guys, so hi everyone, this is Kushbu Nangalia. You can call me Kush from Beyond 99, a agency based in Malaysia, which helps companies with their journey on LinkedIn and a lot of marketing and with modern sales. We have been working with some great, amazing startups and Series A, B, C funded companies in the APAC region for a long time now, helping them accelerate their growth with B2B strategies, also helping a few B2C clients as well, guys. So this has been our core strength. And all of this that I've just showed you right on the screen is possible because we have personally experienced it. I've spoken at more than 80 to 90 plus public events where TEDx, Malaysia Social Media Week, Big IT are just naming it a few. And all of this was possible because the credibility that the platform had created for me in a new land, because I'm born and brought up in India, in a town called Havra, which is in Kolkata. Lovely city to be. I love the country. I love the city. But now, since I'm based in Malaysia, the fact is that being in a foreign land, it makes it further more difficult to be establishing your own agency. But LinkedIn made my life a bit more easier. And that's why I'm here to share with you how, as a startup, you can go out and rock your journey with this ABCD framework. And a lot more collaborations, definitely. So what are you wondering? Are you wondering what is this ABCD? Let's get started. Let's get into the A. A is all about accelerating your profile, making you look great. Now let's put you in a situation. Let's say you are invited by your client on his anniversary or on his birthday party. How are you going to dress up and go? Are you going to go in your pajamas, or you are going to go all dressed up with the right suits and the right gown? Isn't it? Same way, your profile is what you look on LinkedIn, on people's search platform, on the professional people's search platform to say. And the fact is, let me tell you, go ahead. After this conference, guys, go ahead and search your name on Google and see what pops up. In most of the situations, it's your LinkedIn profile that comes up. So if people are looking for you, actually they land up to your LinkedIn profile, which turns out to be your website, your landing page, personal website to say. You have it for free, but are you giving time to that? People are coming to your website, but is it presentable enough, or you are in your pajamas? Think about it. You want to have the right cover photo, you want to have the right profile photo, right description, and the right headline. Your cover photo is the biggest asset, free of cost, that you have for you. Are you putting out the right photograph? Are you making your elevator pitch shout out loud on LinkedIn with that headline? And is your headshot only your headshot profile pic or your entire photo. These are some small simple tricks that makes you look more professional than ever, and chances are people will actually go and dive into converting. They will connect with you, they'll write to you that, hey, I want to work with you, hey, what are you doing, I want to know more about your business. And this is the start of a relationship, of a great growth journey. So rise and shine with an impactful and relevant changes to your profile, which is mandatory for any startup founder, because as a startup you must focus on humanizing your brand. You're not Microsoft, Facebook, Google. Let's get that clear in your, and let's be honest about it. But if you want to get to that level, you want to be the Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett, Tony Robbins, or the next you for your company. And for that, accelerating your profile is just a simple small step. Then the next thing is the B, which is building the right connections. Are you going out and connecting with right set of people? Are you just going out and accepting any network request that comes in? Make sure your connections are the people who you're connecting with are potentially falling under your target group. Either you're there to build a community or to get clients and businesses in scenarios of startups in most of the times. So if you're out building clients, getting clients, building that rapport with the investors to say, because in the startup space, so many times you want to get investors to trust you, to believe in you, to have that credibility. So these connections are what you must leverage on. Going out and connecting with them in a correct manner is the most important thing. One of the very simple but I think the highest converting strategy is adding a personalized invite message to every connection that you send. When you're sending a connection message, don't just copy paste the personalized invite. Send a message which is about how you came across their profile, about probably you read about them in one of the Forbes magazine, Tech in Asia, Digital News Asia, or you read about them on any media platform, or you read about them on your news feed, you read one of their posts. What's that touch point? Talk about that touch point in that personal invite, and guess what, I'm telling you, the conversion rate of your request getting accepted will be very, very, very high. Don't just click on that connect button, go ahead and add a note. This will change your life, because we just need one right person to believe in us, in our startup, in our dream, to go ahead and get that dream to life. One connect, one right connect. So having the right connection strategy is very important. Next, let's look at the C, is creating content and consistently. Creating those crisp and meaningful content which resonates with the people. Let's talk a little bit about investors. So when an investor is looking into you, investors don't invest on companies, they invest on people. And people are who they are on inside. And your content is a reflection of who you are on inside. Posting about what you're working on today, posting about a team meeting, posting about an outcome of a team meeting, posting about a client lunch, posting about as simple as your daily life learnings, lessons, as an entrepreneurial journey, as an entrepreneurial ride. I personally talk about my entrepreneurial ride, on how I started, the hurdles I faced, how I overcome a potential client I closed, I couldn't close, all of these stuff which actually help people learn from it, and community connections to also resonate. Investors see the authentic side of you and will be able to connect with this. When you talk about the success of your startup as well, it can be connected with so many people immediately that they will feel, yes, it's a place to be, it's a place to invest on. So go out, create that crispy, meaningful content that builds traction. Guys, let me leave you one more thought. Why do you want to build that content? If you're feeling that's a waste of time, then I'm going to ask you, don't you feel like owning a Ferrari is a thing that you want to have? You want to have that red color Ferrari. But tell me something, what will you even do of a Ferrari if you're just parking it in your parking lot and not taking it out? And that's what exactly you would do if you're not creating content. Having an amazing profile is just the first step, but if you don't climb up the ladder, you don't get to hit the horizon. And that's what you're here for. As a startup, you want to be series D. You want to be a unicorn. And if you want to be a unicorn, you must not miss out on this platform for sure, with the right strategy. Of course, you cannot win anything on this platform if you don't know how to do it. How do you optimize your profile? How do you build those connections? How do you get those connections? How do you even find those connections? What should your about be all about, or what should your content strategy be all about? These are things you must think about and classify it and give time to this, because one of your marketing strategy must include this. Why? Because startups growth are always lean. It should be lean. You should fail fast, fail cheap. And because LinkedIn gives you a lot of organic reach all for free, like for example, for myself, in last just 1 year, I had more than 1 million views on my profile. 1 million. All of this organic. I've not paid a single cent for advertising. Imagine. So, as a startup, when you don't have funds, this is the platform you want to leverage on, because it gives you so much of organic growth that you can never miss out on this opportunity. So, own a Ferrari, make sure you take it out. But the last thing is tools. Making sure that you're able to discover the right tools for the platform, which can help you fast track your journey, which can help you even go and win it, which can help you get the best in the less. Getting the more in the less is very important for any startup, especially when it comes to productivity, because your resources are limited, the team is limited, you have limited funds. So right tools are something you definitely want to discover, and making sure that these tools are well implemented. Sometimes tool is not only about platform, it's also about the right mindset and the right strategy to go with. These four ABCD is so important as a framework if you follow for the LinkedIn platform. I'm telling you guys, definitely you will see a faster growth in your startup than any other way. And a quick shout out to something that we have done in our own organization just at this point of time when I'm speaking to everyone at Planotech. It is my immense pleasure to tell you that as a startup, let me tell you, the market is amazing. Entrepreneurs are budding the most at this point of time, because somehow the hiring market is a little bit in a fluctuation stage. That means investors are ready to invest. If you're thinking there's no money in the market, then let me burst the bubble and tell you, money is still there. People are just getting calculated about it. They want to make sure when they invest correctly. So there are a lot of investors who are waiting to invest on you. There are a lot of people or clients who want to buy your services. But if you're not visible correctly, you actually miss out on all of those things. So just for a quick shout out, a personal shameless plug here. If you are ready to get started, if you are ready to plunge into this ride of LinkedIn, guys, check out Kill It on LinkedIn, a workshop, a 4 days intensive workshop, which we as an organization have started with a brand, Grow with Salt and Pepper. We launched this brand just on 1st of September. So it's been less than 15-16 days since we have launched this brand. And we have already started the first group, got more than hundreds of people to sign up for the program already. It's just at $1, valued $51. We have done it just to make sure that during this VUCA time, where so many people are losing their job, startups are even losing their confidence, feel like giving up, entrepreneurs are closing down, people are in so much of fear of getting lost. We wanted to inspire more and more people, and because that was our motive, we launched this program. And it would be my immense pleasure to bring this program to everyone at Planotech as well. Thank you so much for having me, and for me being able to share my side of the story. If you want to know anything else about LinkedIn, or if you want any help in terms of marketing, get in touch with me. My name is Khushbu Nangalia. just drop me a connection request on LinkedIn. But please don't forget to add a note saying where you met me. Let's say in our case, you met me at Planner Tech, so that's where you're gonna write, and that makes my life easy, because then accepting the request, I know where you got to know about me. It immediately builds a bond between us. There's a touch point created. So don't miss out to this amazing platform with some right skills and strategies. So if you want to know how to do the ABCD framework, because I've told you the what already, what works, you know it. How, if you want to discover it, go ahead, discover it, because I have done it all by myself. But if you want to fast track your journey right at $1, then grow with salt and pepper. Thank you guys for spending time with me, and I hope you loved it. It was my amazing pleasure to be with all of you and spend this time sharing some of the key LinkedIn strategy. It's time you take your Ferrari outside of your parking lot, guys. Thank you so much.
Hi guys, this is Naurid and welcome to my session. And as you know, today I'm going to talk about digital marketing for startups or digital marketing for SME. But let me tell you something. In this session, I'm not going to have any slide or any PPT because I just don't want to make it another presentation, another boring presentation. What is going to be long, like 20 to 30 minutes, and people will not watch it and they will not sure which information to take. So that's why there'll be no PPT, there'll be no slides. So you have to listen to me, and trust me, if you listen to me, I can give you some amazing tips that will definitely can help you to grow your business. So I'm going to cover Facebook, I'm going to cover LinkedIn, I'm going to cover Instagram's few tips and tricks as well. So I hope you guys are ready. Let's start it. Before I start my session, let me introduce myself. I'm Naurid and currently I'm working with one of the biggest real estate agency in Malaysia. We have offices in 15 countries, and I'm leading a digital marketing team in Malaysia and also in China as well. And apart from working with IQI, I'm also a TEDx speaker, I'm a public speaker, and also a digital marketing trainer. And I'm doing digital marketing for like last 6 years. And digital marketing is something I don't do for only for living. This is something my passion. I do it to live, sleep, eat, and do everything. So it comes from my heart rather than it comes from my brain. So yes, as I said, today we're going to talk about digital marketing for SMEs or startups. So let's take a look. What are the challenges the SMEs are facing or the startups are facing when they're doing digital marketing? So I'm going to talk about few challenges. The first challenge is probably they have the budget issue. They don't have a lot of budget to spend like corporates, so they need to think from a limited budget perspective, and so that's why they're not sure from where they can start their digital marketing journey. Should they go for SEO? Should they go for social media marketing? Should they try the WhatsApp marketing? So they get confused. The second challenge, what I face or what I see when I'm talking with the startups, that they're struggling. They're really struggling to get the right resource. They're struggling to get the right resource for their company. They're struggling to get the right agency who understand their company's vision and deliver. So this is the second challenge they are facing. And why it's happening? It's happening because, like, not everyone knows how digital marketing works. So when an agency explains what the expectations are, they are not sure what is the expectations. So that's why they communicate a different message. Agency got something different, and then when they deliver, it comes something what they are not expecting. The third issue, when they're running Facebook ads, Google ads, or any kind of ads, they're not getting the results, or even if they're getting the results, it becomes so expensive. So there's the third challenge they're facing. And the number 4 challenge they're facing, I think they are not sure how they're going to communicate their brand message and how they can incorporate like all the social media platforms together under their digital marketing ecosystem. Yes, they have Facebook, they have Google, they have LinkedIn, TikTok, so they don't know how they should make it under one ecosystem so they all can work properly. So I'm going to talk about all of these things today. So let's start with the budget issue. I know every startups, when they start their journey, they don't have much money to spend, or even they don't have any amount of money even to do the test and try. So how they should start? Okay, I think the best way to identify it, you should see what your competitors are doing, where they're being so active. This is the first tricks. Or probably you can see where your competitors are not active. So say for, if your competitors are highly active on Facebook, they are not in TikTok, then probably it's a high time to consider your business to push in TikTok and get and create the awareness. Because nowadays people lives in everywhere. They lives in Facebook, they lives in Instagram, they lives in TikTok as well. Yes, probably initially you'll not get the response the way you're expecting, but I think it's always better to be somewhere where your competitors are not, be there yet. So explore those opportunities and start where your competitors are not active yet, or where they're spending more time. So imagine if you have only $200 to spend, then probably you can start spending $100 in Facebook and $100 in TikTok, and then you can see the comparison from where you're getting the better results. But I always believe it's either go to a place where like here all of your customers are hanging out, or be in a place where your competitors are not have explored yet. So guys, this is the tips. Find out your audience, and if you're not sure where the audience are, then try any of the platform which is popular but your competitors are not there yet. The second issue when it comes about digital marketing, the companies, the SMEs, the startups, either looking for hire someone or probably looking for a good agency, and most of the times they end up with something what they don't expect. And why it's happening? Because like nowadays everyone becomes digital marketer. Whoever can run ads in Facebook, they claim themselves as a digital marketers. Even my neighbor cat, I saw he got an Instagram profile, so that cat becomes a influencer. So now everyone becomes like an influencer and digital marketers, and everyone try to sell you the number of views, number of likes, comments and shares. The first thing you need to understand, don't chase the vanity metrics. That's what I tell in my every videos. Don't chase the vanity metrics. The likes, comments, shares doesn't make any sense unless they're giving you any conversion. Yes, you have reached 500k people, and from those 500k people you made 10,000 sales. That's it, you need that guy. But someone came for the interview and they said, oh, I reached 500k people and 700k people likes my post, but they cannot give you a confidence, they cannot give you a promise that they can help you to have some conversion. It's a big no for them. So don't hire that kind of agency or that kind of person who cannot promise you the conversion. And always remember, whenever you are hiring someone, ask them the process. Don't ask them the results, because results, sometimes I feel like it can happen luck by chance. So You should not focus on numbers always. You try to make sure, doesn't matter, probably that person didn't bring amazing results, but he knows the process very well from A to Z. So that's where you need to focus. So if someone said, I'm an SEO expert, so you should tell them, what was your process when you did the SEO? How you bring the organic traffic? What are the tools you have used? If someone you're hiring for Facebook ads, you ask them, do you understand what is lookalike audience, what is custom audience, how it works, and ask them about the ad funnel. If they can answer all of this question, hire that agency, hire that person, and that's how you can make difference, and that's how you can hire the right agency and the right people. Number 3, and the most popular one, how you can make your Facebook ads more effective or Instagram ads more effective. Nowadays, I think Facebook ad is one of the most used ads in the world. So if you ask me how to make it more effective, I'm going to give you 2 tips. First one, focus on your 3C. So what do I mean by 3C? The first C is your content. The second C is your copy. The third C is your CTA. So what does that mean? That means when you are creating an advertisement, make sure the visual and the video you're using, it has to be relevant and it has to be sexy, it has to be attractive. If it's like just a random image, you just get it from Google, you just get it from a random search results, don't go for it. If that pictures impress you, use it. You know, like when we're using a visual or when we were using a thumbnail for a video, we don't bother about it, but we should get bothered, because you know why people will, take a look into your ads, because there's thousands of millions of ads every day they're seeing in Facebook. So how you can make the difference? If it's something different, like say if I walk here for like 10 minutes, you guys will not smile, right? Or you guys will not laugh at me. But if I try to walk and then if I fall down suddenly, then definitely you guys are going to laugh. And why you guys are going to laugh at me? Because this is something unusual. You don't expect me to, while walking, I will fall down. So that's how you can make a difference. So do something what people don't expect. So why, if someone take off their shirt and it gets a lot of views, it gets a lot of comments, because that's something people don't expect you to do. People don't expect you to do, take off your shirt and go to Facebook Live. So that's why it's different. So I'm not telling you to go do that. This is something really stupid, but what I'm trying to say, do something unusual. Then only people will take a look into your ads. So when you're making the visuals, play with the color, play with the words, and play with the tactics. So if you can offer something different, then only people will take a look into your content. So this is the first C. Second C is copy. When you see an advertisement, you see the visual or you see the video, the second thing people do, they try to read the copy. If your copy is not relevant with the video or image, you lose your audience or people will not feel excited. So try to make your copy relevant with your design. And what I see, especially in the Southeast Asian market, we write long copies, 5 lines, 10 lines, 20 lines. Trust me, it gives a lot of pressure in your head. People don't want to read it. People don't want to read more than 3 lines. So please, don't write more than 2 or 3 lines. You imagine, if a trailer is like 10 minutes long, people will probably not go to watch movies. Trailer is like 1 minute, 2 minutes, or max 3 minutes. So your advertisement is kind of like your trailer. So make your copy very short. So the first C is content. You have to get a good content, good visual. Second, you have to get a relevant copy. And third thing, CTA. You need to tell people what to do. People are lazy. By born, they're lazy. So you need to tell them that, oh, would you like to avail this exclusive offer? Or if you're interested about our product, please click sign up. Or please click learn more to know more about our product. So these 3 C, you have to make sure you have in your advertisement. If you can maintain these 3 C, you can have an amazing advertisement and your advertisement can have better conversion. So that's the first tricks to make your Facebook ads or Instagram ads more successful. Second tricks, don't ever do boost post. If you are doing boost posting, stop doing it right now. Why? because when you're doing boost posting, it's reaching 20 to 30% lesser people, and you cannot get the 100% potential of your advertisement. But now the question remains, then you can ask me, Naurid, why then Facebook allow us to do the boost posting? They allow you to do boost posting because they want money from you. They want that my 6 years old nephew also can run advertisement. My 80 years old grandma can run advertisement. So they make it so easy. You just need to click 2 steps, boom, your ad is ready to go live. So they want money. But as an advertiser, as a business owner, as a startup owner, if you want to get best from your advertisement, use business manager, use your advertisement manager, and then run your advertisement. So this is my second suggestion. Stop boosting, run your ads through ad manager. The third suggestion, when you're running advertisement, you have audience, right? So try to follow the funnel. You all, I believe most of you know the funnel. The first funnel, awareness campaign. Second funnel, interest. Third funnel is conversion. You can make it 2 funnel if you're not a big company, awareness and then conversion. In awareness level, you can run video views ad, and then on the second funnel, you can run a traffic campaign or lead generation campaign, and use the custom audience and lookalike audience into that advertisement to get the conversion. Trust me, when I start using lookalike audience and custom audience, my ad starts getting 50 to 60% better conversion, and also the price becomes 20 to 30% more cheaper. So guys, use the ad funnel and use custom audience and lookalike audience in your Facebook ads. So these 2 things is one of the biggest secret how you can make your Facebook ads more conversion, and you can make it, like less expensive and get the best results. But if you still have any more question, feel free to contact me, drop your message. I love to answer you all. And how you can connect, I will tell you end of this video. So we discussed about how you can get the third issue, how you can get the conversion from your advertisement. Now come to the fourth issue. When the startups are engaging with any company, they don't know which metrics they should follow. Why they don't know? Because the digital marketing is kind of a new thing. They don't know what to expect. They don't know, should they look for like likes, comments and shares, or they look for conversion. Let me tell you, you should look for only one thing, one metrics, that is either lead or conversion or qualified inquiries. What do I mean by qualified inquiries? If you run an awareness ad, if you run any Facebook ads, it's great to have likes, 500 likes, 5,000 likes, 5 million likes, 5 million views. I don't bother about those likes and views, but you need to see against those 500 views, 500k likes, 5 million views, how many inquiry you got. The inquiry is not like nice video, nice dance. You should get like, oh, this company looks nice, may I know more about your company? This is called a valid inquiry. If you have that kind of valid inquiry, you should look for those metrics. You should not look for the vanity metrics. So whenever you're engaging an agency, engaging a freelancer, hiring someone to work for you, look for these valid metrics. The number of valid inquiries, number of valid leads, or the number of conversion. So guys, that's all from me today. So if you are a startup, now you know what are the problems you guys are facing and how to solve it. But still, if you have any other problem what I haven't discussed but you are facing and you think I can help on it, please feel free to reach me. How you can reach me? Please add me on LinkedIn, and you'll find my LinkedIn ID as NOWRID space AMIN, Naurid Amin. And if you'd like to get me in Instagram, you'll find me as Naurid, NOWRID. I'm also available in Facebook. It's NOWRID space AMIN, Naurid Amin. Feel free to get connect with me. Any question, drop me your queries. I'd love to get back to you. And I hope you like this session. If you like this session, please drop a comment and let me know your feedback, and I'll really appreciate it. And as I said, any queries, feel free to reach me. That's all from me today. I hope to see you guys again. Till that, bye bye. Have a nice day.